A shimmer in the seam, a stutter under the surface of the dream, where the dark is only paper and the paper learns to breathe, and the corners keep their counsel while the bright things interleave. The room leans inward, listening, lit from underneath. Silver circuitry, tremor, a flicker in the tea. Architecture unmaking what it knew, while a soft encrypted weather starts to bloom around the view. Hush of hidden weather, far side of the room, static wallpaper humming in a language of perfume. Time gets paper thin and thicker, then it bends into a line. Far side, paper thin, the near side almost mine. The pattern makes a pulse out of every little crease, a spiral in the syntax, a disturbance in the piece, and something in the texture starts to loosen at the edges, though the frame itself we're learning how to hinge. Follow the fold in the fog and the flare where it bends. Blue in the bruise has a pulse in the air that extends. Half named, half known, turning dark till it's all weather again. Follow the fold. A grin and a grain and a sheen in the seam of the pain. A weather moving under the stain. One eye on the shimmer, one ear in the undertow, and the home answering in a language I don't know. There's velvet in the voltage, there's a glitch in the silk, grammar in the glitter, and the current in the milk. The corners start collaborating with the edges of the frame. Every ordinary object learning encrypted name. Share turns into shade, light makes the ladder out of all it tries to fade, and I can hear the hinge where meaning comes apart. A small bloom beneath the skin of the heart. The near becomes a rumor, the far becomes a trace. What solid starts to soften at the perimeter of place, with a kind of careful music, with a pressure, with a sway, as if the room were folded into elsewhere. Not a door, not a sign, just a lift in the gloss across. Glance to the left and the left turn, strange loss. Right rearranges, the edges start to slide, and every reflected surface has another side inside. The hush goes serial, the hush goes long, like a thought that learned to echo and forgot what made it strong. And I follow without naming, and I notice without grip, like a thread within the threadwork starting to unravel, slip. Velvet voltage, dust in the light ignite, flicker corners wearing someone else's night. Floor feathering, ceiling turning thin within sight, and the pulse gets slyer while it pulls against the pride. A shimmer in the scaffold and a shiver in the seams, a dissected silence in its beams. Something sideways gathering at the edge, a breach in language with a promise on the ledge. Promise on the ledge, promise on the ledge. Follow the fold in the fog and the flare where it bends. Blue in the bruise has a pulse in the air that extends. Half named, half known, turning dark till it's all weather again. Shape without frame, calling through the bend. And the music makes a ladder out of glitter and of heat. Every beat a doorway, every doorway incomplete. I can taste the hidden grammar underneath the undertow. Every answer wearing questions like a coat of snow. The radius of reason starts to loosen at the wrist, and the air turns into alleys of a phosphorescent mist. I move through all the mirrors without learning where they go, while the shimmer keeps its secret and the secret keeps me slow. There's a hush in the hinge, there's a shine in the seam, a fork in the feeling that divides the dream. A river made of angles moving under the skin, a room inside the room where the room begins. Not up, not out, not away, not through, a grows luminous and wild. Follow the fold in the fog and the flare where it bends. Blue in the bruise has a pulse in the air that extends. Half name, half known, turning dark to its own weather again. Follow the fold. And the room becomes a rumor, and the rumor turns to light. A soft and sideways continent appearing in the night. Follow without knowing, I know without a name. Signal islands are the same. Something like a signal arrives from within. From within, within. Hush in the wire, shimmer in the seam. And the last of the pattern slowly loosens from the frame. Like a current learning not to call my